I was ready 30 minutes ago, and then no one responded. So I'm like, I guess we're starting at 8. And then at 8, I saw your message. And I ran into
and you weren't ready.
I thought I was, and I forgot I had other stuff going.
And then you weren't.
Well,
it's not like you didn't have 45 minutes to get ready.
Well, then listen, and then I took a poop. Like it's there's some things that came up in between when I was ready earlier and when you were ready.
It never works.
But just think, I mean, at least now you're not going to have to use the restroom during the show.
It's true. I don't think so. If it does, I'm having my iPad, so I'll take you with me.
I will drop you so fast.
You're not going to see anything. It's always chest up. Just see that weird picture in the background of the so. I'll mute you when I flush.
Yeah, I have 57 points. Yo, this thing already logged me out.
I got it. Frankie's still winning.
Booyah.
When Jurassic World moves into that second spot, though, I'll have 4 in a row. I'm just saying, I'll have a Connect 4.
Ooh.
A Connect. Ooh, I didn't know we were playing that too. I suck at that game. That game is how I know I have some form of like ADD, because when it starts getting up there, I all of a sudden am no longer paying attention and then let people win. I don't know. My wife beats me all the time. Some people play Catan. We play Connect 4.
Catan.
All right, you guys ready?
Nope.
Yeah, so I guess we'll do what's on, and then we'll talk about Ant-Man just spoiler free.
Yeah, sounds
good. Actually, I don't go spoil it for me.
I mean, I don't really care either, to be honest with you.
Do you think we would get much out of a spoiler section?
You've seen the trailers, right?
That's the whole movie?
I
mean, if you want to wait, I'll go see it this week.
Yeah, let's wait. I don't know.
We'll do spoiler free, and then we'll review it totally on next Monday.
Yeah. How about this week we talk about the first Ant-Man one?
Because I don't really feel like talking about a movie that came out 3 years ago.
When did they come out? Did they come out this week?
It came out July 6th.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah, it came out on Thursday.
Yeah, let's just brief over it, spoiler free and ish.
I saw it yesterday.
Is it doing better or worse than Solo did by the time it's been out this long? That's how I rate movies this summer. What's its day to day versus Solo?
Well, so far worse, I guess.
I mean, like we're at July 6th. We're at what, the 8th now? No, today's like
the first 8th. Weekend. I think it's higher than Solo was on first weekend.
Oh well, then it's doing good then.
So my thing is, if we talk about Ant-Man this week, I don't want to talk about it again next week.
Opening weekend for Solo was, what was it? It might actually be lower than Solo opening weekend. Solo did half of its domestic the first weekend.
Yeah, and then it had a steep drop off.
Yeah. I think Ant-Man's gonna climb though. I think it's gonna do good for multiple weeks. We'll see. There's a bunch of stuff coming out.
Yeah, it did better than Solo the first weekend.
I think it'll last longer. Yeah.
All right. So, are we talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp or not?
Yeah, why doesn't Tim just do a quick little spoiler-free version of it, and we won't talk about it ever again?
Okay.
Here's what happened last time on Incredible Critics.
Tim, listening to last week's episode, I realized I don't think Frankie really understands how the Oculus Rift works.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
and no. since he's not here, we can totally make fun of him for it.
He's like, "Could you see around it?" And I'm like, I mean, there was like a tiny crack.
Did like Harrison Ford show up?
Like, no, it's not.
It's not. It doesn't work like that, Frank.
We are the Incredible Critics. Incredible, not because we're great, but much like Frankie's questions about the Oculus Rift, our credibility should seriously be questioned. I am Ben Franco. This week, we're going to talk about what we've been watching, and then going in and talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. But as always, joining me, Tim Lasers Gruber.
Yo, 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 yo.
And the man himself, Frankie Fusco.
I love when all three of us are together. It's like a big happy family. It's great. And for the record, two things. One, I never said, "Can you see around it?" I asked if you took it off to look in the room and see what was going on actually.
I think that was how you asked it.
That's
though.
exactly how I asked it. And two, no, I didn't quite even know what he was talking about. But I didn't ask if he could see around.
So I was wrong in what you said. I was right in my conclusion.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So I'm super psyched to go there in February and check it out. And then I'm going to take it off and look around the room because that's what a good person does.
Well, and it's coming to Philly, right?
Yeah. So they just announced there's a it might not be the Star Wars one, but Void just announced their opening one in Philly, and I think it's going to be King of Prussia.
Well, of course it's going to be King of Prussia.
Which, yeah.
It's amazing.
But I don't care what it is. So they actually, I looked up. They have some different kind of things that they do. They do locked room kind of scenarios, which is cool because it's like you can literally just throw people in a room that has nothing in it,
right?
And they're in a locked room thing.
So for anyone that didn't listen to last week, Tim went to this thing called the Void.
Yeah.
Which is currently in Orlando at Disney, which is an Oculus Rift virtual reality, hyper reality, excuse me, game that you play with like a bunch of other people and stuff like that. And they're bringing one to Philly.
Yeah, so that'll be sick.
Philly.
The guys down there said they also have some different exploring kind of ones where it's a much bigger space and you can like separate from people and go out into the environment and do stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know what it's going to be in Philly, but man,
all right, what IP would you want more than Star Wars?
More than Star Trek? Yeah, maybe Star Trek, honestly.
Or Stargate.
Be like, or Stargate. Maybe Star Trek, because you'd be like on the bridge doing stuff during a mission. I don't know. It could be sick.
Frankie, what IP would you want more than Star Wars?
That is a tough question. I think Star Wars. I don't think I'd want anything more than Star Wars.
Right. Okay.
I love that more than I do Star Trek. But I mean, Star Trek would be cool depending on which version it was.
I'm going World of Warcraft. I think that'd be
pretty awesome.
That seems way too intricate.
Just like a battle, just like a miniature battle, or like I don't know, walking into Stormwind or something crazy like that. Like it'd be cool.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, Ready Player One would be the one that I would like to experience.
That's just Ready Player One. That's just
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'd be sick.
So
just be able to take it home and bring it home with you and play.
Right.
Is that what you want?
Pretty much. So I because Ant-Man and the Wasp came out this week, and we're gonna be talking about it because Tim saw it. Frankie didn't even know it was coming out. So
that's a movie? Is it
much of a comic book fan?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What did I say?
Question.
No, you said it.
That wasn't supposed to play.
What's on?
Ben on top of the sound effects.
So because that came out, I figured I should probably get around to seeing the first one.
Hey,
and it was idea, Ben.
I'm just proud of you that you saw a movie. So
yeah, you know. And I realized I think I know what would make the Marvel movies appeal more to me. And
can't wait for this.
Yeah, so I chose my wording really carefully because initially I was going to say how I would fix the Marvel movies. But clearly the Marvel movies are not broken because they make a buttload of money. And
I mean, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So just how I would make it appeal more to me, two things. First, I would move a couple of the films beyond having villains. You don't need to have villains because they're kind of wasted anyway, and because you know what's going to happen, with the exception of Thanos. You know what's going to happen. Like, you know, Kate Blanchett isn't really coming back, and you also know that her character, as awesome as she was, her character wasn't really developed in that entire movie. Like, you don't feel any loss. So get beyond villains. Talk about I don't know, put them in situations more like Thor Ragnarok rather than where they're trying to get out of someplace. But that still had, Kate Blanchett.
Pretty sure there was a giant villain in that movie. But yeah, go ahead.
But you get what I'm saying. They're in not nowhere, whatever it was called. Like, that whole situation had nothing to do with the villain. And that was the best part about the movie to me. The second thing that I would do is make each superhero a different subgenre of action movie. So here's what I mean. All right, Iron Man, leave as is. Spider-Man, that's high school drama mixed with an action movie.
So you want a CW show for the Spider-Man?
Well, no, that's what Spider-Man was.
But good. Right, that's what Spider-Man was.
Good.
Use film.
But then it diverged into kind of towards the end stereotypical superhero film. But I'm just saying. These are my thoughts.
Actually,
Captain
Spider-Man
America
would make a pretty good TV show. But go ahead.
It would. Captain America, make it a noir war period piece. So go back to Winter Soldier, where they have it pretty much covers 30 seconds of the movie where they talk about all these battles that they fought as a group. Go back and do more stories in that and make it like this period piece type thing. Black Widow, make it like an espionage film, like 007. And Thor, double down on the sci-fi aspects of it. Make it
like
kind
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but again, less like superheroes. So a bad example, but I thought Interstellar. I don't know, something more like sci-fi-ish rather than
a harder
superhero.
sci-fi as opposed to
making a movie that when you leave
opera?
it, you're like, what happens?
I said,
don't quite understand.
I said bad example,
and
but
then
it's only one that could come up. And then Hulk, make it like a modern day war film where he's like the big super weapon.
Oh, you almost said hero.
I almost said hero, but the big super weapon. And you film each one in a different way that helps separate it from the other films. So
what they did with Winter Soldier, which was a political thriller.
Yeah.
And which made it so amazing.
I haven't. Right. I need to rewatch.
And so what they did with Spider-Man already. So that's what you're saying. So to make it more applicable, just keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what they're doing. No, but he wants us to also get rid of the bad guys in the superhero movies.
But also less villains.
Yeah.
Who needs
more villains?
Ben, can I just point out?
Yeah.
You can't.
Also, I forgot Ant-Man. Make it more like more like a heist film, more like Ocean's 11.
More heist, yes, that would be good. So I was just gonna say, you can't have the Joker and the Batman separate, though, right? I mean, so what are you supposed to do in the case of the Dark Knight? Let's say.
Okay, if any of the villains in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe were half as good as the Joker in the Dark Knight, it'd be fine. But all of them combined, including Thanos, don't even compete with the Dark Knight.
Ben,
Kate Blanchett was pretty good.
The rumors are that we're actually going to get on the Blu-ray of Avengers Infinity War a 30-minute longer cut that is added entirely more Thanos.
Well,
so they're not going in your direction, I'm guessing.
Well, clearly not. I guess what I'm trying to say is
I get what you're saying. And just write a letter, mail it, and see what happens.
The things that we like about those films, like Spider-Man: Homecoming and the Captain America Winter
Oh,
Soldier.
yeah.
I think just like double down on those aspects of
though.
it.
Yeah.
That's
No.
I guess what I'm saying.
I kind of agree with you at point, but it's just a problem with the Marvel movies where there's a part where good storytelling meets a business that wants to make a ton of money via toys and kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, they clash as much as a noir piece with Captain America would be great. That rated R Captain America is not going to sell toys to the 3-year and 4-year-old kids, which is where they make their gajillion dollars. So.
And that's fair.
But I'll also point out that I think Kevin Feige wants what you're saying to be a thing, because the reality is when they've been going to hire directors, they're like hiring directors that have very specific niche things that they're really great at.
Right.
So the best example would be, there's no example for Doctor Strange, right? However, that director wants to make the next movie, and his niche, his thing is horror. That's his thing. And quite honestly, if you go back,
that would work.
Oh yeah, if you go, it'd be like this mystical horror kind of thing. If you go back to like Steve Ditko, who passed away this week, he did original art for Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. But Steve Ditko, his art for Doctor Strange was like
crazy,
so trippy and creepy and weird. And there was like a touch of that a little bit when Doctor Strange in the movie did that, when he first went on that mind trip before he learned anything about magic. We got kind of like a touch of that, but man, I mean, we go past that into the quantum realm, let's say. Let's just say
hypothetically, theoretically.
It could be crazy. But
well, I probably shouldn't have started the episode off talking to you guys about superheroes. We probably should have landed there later, because that'll pretty much be all we talk about the rest of the time. But let me try to convince them to talk about something else in our What's On section. I don't know why it does that every time.
It's probably a user error.
Probably. It's an ID 10
ID 10T error. Yeah, definitely. Frankie's gonna like write that out later. Hang on. I was gonna say ID 10. Oh, I got it. Tim, did you finish Stargate yet?
No, we didn't. We did watch a little bit more of season 8, so we're almost there. There's season 8, 9, and 10.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which are great. 8 is 7, 8, and I think through the end of Stargate SG-1 is really like where it hits stride.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure. Yeah, other than that, I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
And then I kind of fell off the bandwagon and reinstalled Pokemon Go.
So you really fell back onto the bandwagon.
I fell off the bandwagon
of people not playing
onto the
Pokemon
bandwagon.
Go.
I fell off the bandwagon of addiction.
No. Didn't you fall off the bandwagon of recovery and onto the bandwagon?
Yeah.
Of addiction? Yeah.
I think the internet is a series of bandwagons.
Which is really a funny term because, I mean, wagons aren't really used much anymore.
Because who knows? Although, let's get real, there's a wagon in Fortnite now. So, see what happens with that. But yeah, I fell back onto the Pokemon Go bandwagon. I went pretty far down the rabbit hole on this one. And
how many metaphors can we use to talk about Pokemon Go?
Look, save a penny. A penny saved is a penny that you can spend on Pokemon Go.
That's right. That's my life motto.
I killed 2 birds with 1 stone and just decided to play Pokemon Go while I was at the Kennywood in Pittsburgh, which is like an amusement park. It's kind of like Hershey Park or Six Flags, but it's like the Pittsburgh thing.
If you ever watched the Ryan Reynolds movie Adventureland, it was filmed at Kennywood.
Yes, it was filmed. Yeah.
Huh.
So Kennywood has lots of Pokemon stops and lots of gyms. So we were riding rides, and I was catching Pokemons.
Nice. Frankie, you been watching anything lately?
Yeah, so life's been like nuts right now with work and us opening a new store up in Jersey. So I've been behind on all of my TV shows since, I don't know, February. So right now I'm finally catching up with them as I can. So I just finished off this season's Big Bang Theory, which was as good as any other season of Big Bang Theory. Nothing special.
Nothing special. Right.
Nothing, no. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, you know, it was as funny as all the past seasons. It wasn't less funny, but greater. Still better than the young Sheldon. And I also finished
not hard.
up
That's not hard.
season 13 of Supernatural, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh, you are not watching Supernatural.
Amazing. That is one of my favorite shows.
Are you a 14-year-old girl?
Maybe. Are you sexist and ageist? What does it matter?
Yes to both.
Yes. No, Supernatural is one of the greatest shows. It's amazing at the fact that it can go on for 13 seasons and still be good. Yet when you have shows like Grey's Anatomy that are on like season 10 and horrendous.
Frankie would know because
he's
right also now. Just finished season 10 of Grey's Anatomy.
Season 10. Great. No, listen. Hey, Supernatural has like a really big cult following, and it's great. Felicia
Literally
Day was on it again this season.
Following. Because it's about the occult.
Well, that's true. It's a pretty great show. Really
well, speaking of cults, I've actually been watching Wild Country. I know, but I was bored.
Wait, what? That's actually about a cult.
It is actually about a cult.
What?
Which is a really good documentary, though.
It's fantastic.
What the craziest part about it is, and we're behind the 8 ball on it because it came out a while ago. And
yeah, I know.
Everyone's talking.
That's why we're talking about it here.
But I just watched it like last week.
I haven't watched the last episode.
Okay, but
I'm not really worried about
maybe
spoilers.
Maybe you won't find yourself the same way as I found it. But like, I'm watching it and I want to be like, parts of it I'm like, these guys are getting played. Like, these people are idiots. And then there's other parts of it I'm like, that seems kind of like a good idea. I kind of get what they're doing. Like, I kind of feel bad for them at parts. And then you're like, nope, they're stupid. And then you're like, oh, this is great. And then you're like, no, I get it. I get what they're doing. Like,
this is how Frankie gets sucked into a cult.
I contemplated for a hot minute, then I was like, no, I'm smarter than them. And then
plus,
it makes
you don't look good
like,
in red.
No, well, those clothes look super comfy though. They're like, you're like never hot, and they look super comfortable all the time. They're in like the gis from Dragon Ball Z. Is essentially what they're walking around in.
I get that reference.
Yeah, there we go. And doesn't.
I've watched. Never mind. Yeah, no. It's really good. It's. I'm a documentary fan, and this is a solid one. So if you haven't checked it out, it's a good vid angel. Yeah, get that in there.
Is that? Yeah, I guess you
Vid
can.
Angel making the shows good for everybody.
You did mention it last week,
That's
Ben, and I was a little upset when I was listening to the episode that we had something in common. But I also love true crime stuff, and so that's the one thing that me and my wife match up on. That we both watch true crime things on TV shows, kind of watch together. So,
did you watch The Staircase?
Yeah, The Staircase was crazy.
So good.
Do you guys watch like Live PD? Is that a thing? That's a true crime show, right?
Yeah.
Technically,
it is. I love what they did with The Staircase and even this one, Wild Wild Country, and with the Evil Geniuses, like the short documentaries, like 4 or 5 episodes long.
So the Staircase was 12 episodes.
Okay, well, no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I went through those really fast.
Oh, Frankie only watched 4 of them.
No, I watched the whole thing, but I watched it in like a day and a half. I didn't realize there were that many episodes. But anyway, the other 2 were very short, 6 and 4.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I kind of like that.
Sure. Did you watch anything else that you want to talk about? Because if not, we'll get to our future review.
Our future of the movie that we didn't even know was out? I think
you didn't know was out. Everybody else knew.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The money's not showing yet, but let's get into it.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So, how long have you been Ant-Man again?
Not long. It just sort of happened.
I wish I could fight bad guys like you.
I seem to mess it up almost every time.
Maybe you just need someone watching your back. Like a partner.
Dr. Pym, I actually heard what happened to you.
That is from the trailer to Ant-Man and the Wasp, the follow-up to the aforementioned Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Frankie and I haven't seen it. Tim has. Tim, is it better, worse, or on par with the first one?
I would say on par. I would say for the most part, if you go into this without watching any trailers, you're going to be good. You're going to enjoy it if you enjoyed the first one. I will say, yeah, obviously, without getting into spoilers, the trailers show a lot of... They don't show everything, but they show a lot of big sequences. There's not a lot of surprises in this movie.
Yeah.
Put it that way. Outside of that, the humor is just as good. Michael Pena is hilarious.
He was really funny in the first one.
There was in this one, there's an even longer sequence of him telling stories in that real quick cut, crazy way.
Yeah.
Like that was in the first movie, which he does like 2 times. In this, it's like one big sequence, and it's like 3 times longer than that, and it's just so ridiculous and hilarious. And so that was good. He's good. 2 of the other ex-con guys are back as well, and they're just as funny. The one guy who's like Russian, they're funny.
So in the 3 years since the first one came out, did T.I. learn how to act?
Yeah.
Because he was awful.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
I don't even remember T.I. being in the first one.
He's one of the ex-cons, right?
Yeah, he's the other ex-con. There's the Russian and then T.I.
Yes. I think that's his character.
Bad actor is his character?
Yes.
'Cause
I
they
don't know.
He's so bad.
He's just as real, like, I don't know, bad actory as you'd expect. But I have a feeling that it's that way on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say in this movie though, it was good because we finally see like Peyton Reed, the director who did the first one. Him and Paul Rudd really got to do an Ant-Man movie from the ground up that was just all them. It was all their ideas. It was all their thing. You guys remember the first Ant-Man had some issues because it was in pre-production with Edgar Wright.
Right.
And
He still got a writing credit on it.
Yeah, and
Just blame it on the children.
I'm just gonna keep going. Brittany's laughing at me over there. Did you hear that? She said
No.
sorry. She said sorry.
No.
Incredible fans. Anyways, it was good though. You get to see them doing their own thing. You get to see them kind of expound on more all the little bits that were in the first movie. They kind of grow it bigger. There's another literally and figuratively. There's some more sequences with Giant Man. Obviously, that's all in the trailers.
Sure.
But it's still pretty funny. There's still a lot of jokes that they didn't put in the trailers and there's not a bunch of really huge twists. That's all.
Sure.
Outside of that, though, just as funny, I do think what you were saying, Ben, I honestly think they should have went more heist
Yeah.
and less
Superhero.
super stuff. It was still a really funny, really great movie, and I would say people should definitely see it in theaters if they have the chance, if they enjoyed the first movie.
And
because it's a real cool. It is very visually spectacular.
how does it work, or I should say, does it work well as a follow-up to Infinity War? Kind of cleanse the palate,
Yes.
move you past
I would say
Infinity
yes,
War.
yes and no. It takes place concurrently or slightly before Infinity War, the
Right.
majority of the movie.
So it ends with everyone turning to ash.
I can't tell you that, Frankie. I can neither confirm nor deny any thing to do with spoilers or post-credit sequences. But no, it was a really good palette because it is a really happy movie. There's a happy ending. There's it's really fun and funny, and it's just like a fun ride. And Infinity War was like you're just like on the edge of your seat, and then with the ending of Infinity War, you're going like, I know what has to happen somehow in the next movie, but did that just happen? Like
Right.
what? And with this, it's just like, oh man, that was so fun. That was awesome. That was hilarious. Boom. Ant-Man the Wasp.
Name one Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that is better than it and one that is worse than it. So it gives a range.
Okay. What was your favorite one, Ben?
Oh, that's a good question.
Arguably,
Yeah.
I know your favorite MCU movie was The Dark Knight, Ben. You can
It's
just
true.
say that, and we will
It's-
roll our eyes and we'll move on.
Yep.
One that was better than this one, I would say probably Guardians. I think Guardians is funnier,
Okay.
but I'll say that only because I know there's a lot in this movie that I really enjoyed more than the average person because I have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And
that child actor is really, really everything she says. I'm like, oh.
yeah, and she honestly, she like her game is like stepped up in this one. She's great. She's in the movie a lot more. And it was that was really fun to see like this guy who wants to do the right thing, but the right thing is he
The
has
wrong
to stay
thing.
in house arrest or he has to do the right thing.
Right.
And it's like he's actually trying to balance his family life with like being a superhero, and that was great.
Ben, I'm curious what you thought of the first one, because the first one was one of those movies when it came out that everyone was kind of like, what is this? No one's going to like this. And everyone really enjoyed it because it was pretty funny, and Paul Rudd, does his Paul Rudd thing and kind of saves the movie. But I don't know, plus 10 years later since it came out and you finally saw it, what was your opinion of the first one?
3 years. 3 years. It was fine. The first one's fine. It's
You guys heard it here first. The first Ant-Man, fine.
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 It came out 3 years ago. Yeah, I like I said, I wanted it to be more of a heist film, and
I can see that.
It didn't do that.
And that's probably what it would have been with Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah.
It
I
would've
wanted
been
the
a lot
Edgar
more
Wright.
heisty.
I wanted the Edgar Wright version for sure. But it is what it is. Like I said, I mean, even Ant-Man and the Wasp, it made, what was it, 161 million worldwide opening weekend. So
Yeah.
it's doing well.
So it's post-Solo.
Yes,
So
it's
it's
doing
higher.
better than Solo.
And you know what? It took
The Solo
probably
scale.
a tenth of the money to make Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right.
So, I'll say this too. Again, no spoilers, but there's a flashback sequence right at the beginning of the movie, and like for real, their de-aging technology is
It's crazy.
it's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's nuts. They
Yeah.
just announced this week that Samuel L. Jackson is in the entirety of Captain Marvel, which is the next Marvel movie coming out in March.
I'm
And-
cautiously optimistic about Captain Marvel because I really love Brie Larson.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing because Brie
Right.
Larson's in it.
Well, so
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'm hopeful.
So the biggest shocker was just this week was that they announced that Samuel L. Jackson is de-aged for the entirety of the film.
Oh wow.
So
it
it's
looks
just
so good.
regular Samuel L. Jackson. Then. 'Cause he
Yeah,
still
right,
looks like
right,
he's,
exactly.
like,
Honestly,
35.
there's set photos that leaked of him like all done up like he's in the 90s and with like some hair and stuff, and he looks really young. And I was like, they're probably not going to do a lot, but the fact that like when you see in this movie the next like it's I feel like it's another step forward for that whole de-aging like digital actor thing. It was done really well and very surprising. Lawrence Fishburne, I believe they used his son for part of it. He's in this movie.
Oh, gotcha.
I believe they used his son in a flashback, but his character was interesting, and I don't know. I'm excited for. I really just want Avengers 4. I want Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. This was a great palate cleanser. That's the best way. What you said, Ben. That's the best way to put it.
All right. Well, go check out Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let us know what you think, or really let Tim know what you think, because Frankie and I haven't seen it. Frankie, where can people connect with us?
You can find us on Twitter at 3criticspod. Go on Facebook, hit like, and follow. Get all of our posts and updates at facebook.com/IncredibleCritics. And don't forget to go onto iTunes, give us a rating. That really helps us get out to other people and stay on the iTunes list. So.
And search for us on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, and you can see how much Frankie just looks at his phone all during the podcast.
I'm busy, okay?
We are the
Still on a work
Incredible
trip.
Critics, and we will talk to you next week.
Look, if I didn't have to be talking about that movie, I mean, I would have probably been playing Fortnite on my Switch while we did the podcast. I'm just saying.
That's fair. If I had Fortnite on my Switch, I'd probably be playing it too.
It's free, so you just download it, Frankie.
I don't have a Switch.
So steal a Switch so you get that for free.
Free.
And then download Fortnite.
There we go. Perfect.
Frankie,
Nailed
I
it.
edited this clip for you.
Everywhere, like such as, and
Just for you.
Is it that short now?
Yep.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
That one.
Aw.
The other one takes way too long. Trust
What
me.
a pal.
Much like
everywhere,
when I'm
like
talking.
such as, and
How's the new sound clips coming? Got anything from?
No, I don't have anything new.
Okay.
Wee.
I should get one of those. All right. Stopping the broadcast.